This is Mr. Bruce Myrick from Hammond, Louisiana, another of the members on the current Rotary study tour. At home, Bruce is a forester and a pilot, and I gather that
That's correct.
you're been rather taken by the pilot aspect of life out here as well.
I have, Murray. We've had several opportunities to go up in light planes since we've been here. I've been fortunate to have the opportunity to pilot one of those light planes from Mudgee to Rylstone. And during this flight, our group leader, past District Governor Claire Woods, commented upon entering the aircraft that the propeller was turning the wrong way. Well, the pilot quickly picked up this cue and responded with, "By golly, it is." And one of the apprehensive fellows of the group in the rear says, "Well, what are we going to do?" And the pilot said, "Well, I guess we'll just have to fly backwards."
Nonetheless, you obviously got there.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes. A 25-minute flight.
Is
No problems.
your work takes you into the air quite a bit at home, does it?
Yes, it does. I fly fire patrol, and during periods of high insect infestations, we keep a check on the activity of our insect, which is our primary problem, the southern pine beetle. I fly about 200 hours a year. It's a secondary job. Actually, I'm a forester working with small landowners with their timber problems, such as marketing and planting and marking, selecting the trees to be harvested and prescribed burning and so forth.
Have you had much of an opportunity to look at the forestry side in Australia here?
We have had one day. We were the host of the New South Wales Forestry Commission. They took us to an area above Dungog, to the rainforest, which had about 60 to 70 inches of rainfall a year. I was highly impressed at the size of the timber in that area. I had no idea that Australia, in this area, had timber as large as we saw.
Is our use of planes in forestry either for firefighting or for insect fighting on the same scale as it is at home in the States?
I think we use aircraft more. We have better flying conditions. We have flat terrain and everything, and large, vast areas that are conducive for aerial detection of fires and insects and so forth. But out here, the strangest thing I've run across so far is that you use aircraft for prescribed burning. In other words, you set fires from the airplane in isolated areas under certain weather conditions, which do a job of timber management, so to speak. They clear the area of fuel, which can, on a high fire hazard day, become drastic.
You don't do this in the States. Why? Because fire completely destroys the trees there?
Well, we prescribe burn, but we don't do it from the air. We have a vast road system, and most of our areas are accessible, and we're able to light our fires from the road and control it in this manner. And we can actually go to the area to burn rather than burn it from the air.
Well, do you think that you've learned anything in forestry management or in flying out here in Australia?
Yes, I have. Your techniques of flying are a little different. Well, not techniques of flying, your procedures, I should say. And I've studied your procedures quite intensively to find out what it would take to convert an American flying ticket to an Australian flying ticket. And I don't think there'd be any problem. However, you would have to do a little homework and take a few check flights, which is quite understandable.
There we'll leave it. Thank you.
Federation and Board. Felicity Catley. Robin Chenery. Brenda Lee. Catherine Freeman.
Most Australians appreciate that Louisiana was originally a French settlement. Consequently, our guest tonight, Mr. J. A. Bear, spells his name with an H but pronounces it like a Frenchman. It is the French ancestry that
Oui,
accounts for
monsieur.
this.
Oui, monsieur, it is.
And at home in New Orleans, you are with the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, Murray, I am one of 20 men on the staff of the Chamber of Commerce in New Orleans. We have 1 million people living in New Orleans, and we, as representatives of the business community, raise approximately $750,000 a year from 3,500 business firms. This money goes to finance our staff operations as well as other programs which we might initiate.
And it's quite a different concept of a Chamber of Commerce to that we have in Australia.
Well, say by comparison, staff-wise, a city the size of Newcastle in the United States would have a staff anywhere from 5 to 10 men on the staff, and there would usually be an equal number of secretaries to accompany this.
But you're not only representing the business community, you're also a sort of city promotion or industrial development and everything, all in one.
Right. One of my main jobs is government liaison work on the local level, representing the business community at City Hall. Our local government makes laws in the U.S., and we constantly have to be alerted to make sure the interests of the business community are protected at all times. And I'm there on a weekly basis when our city council meets, and should some matter come up that would be detrimental to business, I would certainly stand up and request the city council to postpone it.
Would you call yourself a lobbyist?
Unofficially, we are in that capacity.
But you undertake some pretty grandiloquent projects as well, I believe.
We have 6 of our 20 men working to promote economic development in New Orleans, and they go around the country with the specific data gathered on the population and projections of our area, rifling in on specific new industries, trying to bring them in.
With some success?
Quite a bit of success we're having. We find this rifle shot approach, doing research geared specifically to certain industries, and then sending a team to the particular industry, wherever they might be located, and saying, this is the story of New Orleans, this is our labor pool, this is our cost of living.
Doesn't the city council do this for you?
No, they do not. This is left in the hands of the business community. Our power companies are privately owned, and they have a very strong interest in bringing in new industry. They work closely with the chamber on this.
Well, you're also doing a bit of building, I gather. The biggest in the world?
Well, this is one of the most pleasant messages I would like to leave in Australia, that you'll be hearing more and more of. If we do our job, you'll be hearing a lot more of it. The largest building in the world is under construction in New Orleans, in the heart of our city. We call it the Louisiana Dome Stadium. It parallels in a fashion your opera house in this way. In 1966, we started off with a building that would seat 40,000 people under a domed roof and to accommodate conventions, trade shows, and gridiron games and other sporting activities. This was going to cost about $30 million. With other demands and pressures for more people wanting to get in this stadium when it became a reality, we're now up to seating 80,000 people under this Louisiana Dome Stadium. We are at a cost maximum of $130 million, which
still
is
going up.
They're driving pilings on it now. The building is going up. The costs are stable now. The state legislature did put a ceiling maximum cost of $130 million on it. We will have the largest building in the world. Many of your viewers have heard of the Houston Astrodome. We in Louisiana be very proud to let our Texas neighbors know that we can put their Astrodome in one corner of our Louisiana Dome Stadium.
Well, there we'll leave it with no doubt there's something to be learned not only by a jealous Texas but by a very envious Sydney. When you want a job, no doubt they'll take you on at the Opera House. Thanks for being our guest, Mr. J. A. Baer from the Chamber of Commerce in New Orleans.